I swear my hands are still shaking right now, because what happened started like a normal Saturday and ended with me standing at the edge of the lake owning every drop of water in it and watching an entire neighborhood realize they had just picked a fight with the wrong guy. So I drive up to my family's old lake cabin for the first time in months, just wanting peace, maybe a few hours fishing like I used to when I was a kid. This place was the only spot where I could hear my own thoughts after the mess of work and life. But the second I cast my line, I hear this voice from behind me sharp like it could cut glass, and I already know it's trouble before I even turn around. She's standing there in a neon visor and oversized sunglasses with that fake smile that makes your skin crawl, and she tells me in this sing-song voice that I'm violating HOA regulations section, whatever something about unauthorized fishing from private shoreline. And I laugh because I've been fishing here since before she probably knew this lake even existed, but she's holding a clipboard like it's a weapon and says she's writing me up for a $500 fine. I tell her my family has had rights to this dock since before the HOA even formed. But she smirks like she's been waiting for this moment and says those rights expired when the HOA bought the surrounding land years ago. Now everything including the water is under their control, and if I don't pay the fine, they'll put a lien on my property. And something inside me snaps right there, because this lake was the last place that felt like mine, and now it's just another thing they can squeeze for money. So I go home that night, and I can't stop thinking about it. My chest feels tight every time I picture her smug face. A week later, I go digging through county records and find something the HOA probably didn't think anyone would bother to check. The lake itself isn't technically HOA property. It's owned by a small land trust that's been struggling financially, and when I call the trust manager, he tells me they've been looking for a beer. My heart's pounding so hard I can barely hear my own voice when I ask how much, and it's a number that makes me swallow hard, but I realize I can swing it if I drain some savings and take a short-term loan. 3 weeks later, I'm holding papers that say I own the lake, every inch of water, every fish, every dock permit, and I'm grinning like a maniac when I see her walking her little dog along the shoreline, and she freezes when I tell her the news. At first she laughs like I'm joking, but then I pull out the deed and her face drains of color, and I tell her there's going to be some new rules starting immediately, and the first is that anyone in the HOA is banned from fishing, boating, or swimming without my permission, which they will never get. The neighborhood goes into chaos that week, kids crying because summer plans are ruined, angry emails flying around the HOA board, emergency meetings where they try to figure out how to fight me. But every legal opinion comes back the same: the lake is mine, and there's nothing they can do unless they buy it back, which they can't afford. But here's the twist: I didn't expect a month in, I start getting letters from old neighbors. The ones who aren't like her, people who used to bring me cookies when I was a kid. They tell me they had no idea the HOA was pulling stunts like this. They've been bullied for years, fined for ridiculous things like the wrong shade of mailbox paint or too many flowers in their yard. They beg me to reconsider for them. And I realize this isn't about revenge on everyone. It's about making sure the people who made my life hell learn what it's like to lose something they took for granted. So I write up a list of names. The decent folks get their access back with a smile. The board members, including her, get nothing, not even a drop of water on their toes. The day she tries to sneak her kayak into the water is the day I call the sheriff and have her trespassed in front of the entire neighborhood. She screams about her rights while the deputies escort her out, and I just stand there with my fishing rod, feeling the kind of calm you only get when you know you've won. Now, when I sit on that dock, I don't just hear the water, I hear the silence of an entire HOA board that knows they picked the wrong fight. And I think about how sometimes justice doesn't come from courts or rules, it comes from taking back what's yours and making sure the people who tried to break you feel the weight of their own greed. Now I sit on my dock, watching the water sparkle, knowing every fish, every ripple, every wave belongs to me, and when that HOA board walks by silent and bitter, I just smile, because they learned the hard way: you don't mess with someone who has nothing left to lose.